Hello? Is someone there? Please tell me that's a person and not a vicious animal looking for its next meal. I swear I don't taste good. Oh, it's only another person. What brings you into the forest? That's a fair point. I guess you could ask the same of me. There's not much to say, though. I'm here because it's a nice place to rest. I've been traveling, you see. And being right next to the stream, well, it reminds me of home. Here, why don't you sit down? You must be tired from all that walking. It's nice and calm here. So, what brings you here? It is pretty deep into the forest, after all. Wouldn't want you getting lost. Just needed a break. Even so, you've gone quite far into the forest just for that. And you could have encountered something really scary. Like a wolf or a bear. What would you have done then? Oh, I didn't see the scabbard at your hip. My apologies. I suppose you would have been able to take care of any threat that you'd come across in that case. But you know, I think there's plenty scarier things than wolves and bears out here. Like what, they say? Like the things that can take on a human shape. Or at least a half-human shape. Werewolves, harpies, vampires, sirens. They're all very dangerous creatures, you know. So are elves and nymphs. Sometimes they look really unassuming, only to whisk you off into another world, never to be seen by your loved ones again. Now, wouldn't that be terrible? Wouldn't be so bad. What makes you say something like that? If I didn't know any better, I'd say you like the idea of being taken to another world. You're just curious about other worlds. I really don't buy that. You've got this look in your eye, something that says you're looking for trouble. But why in the world would someone like you want trouble? And with those kinds of creatures, no less. Bored? For such a simple reason. You're the most peculiar person I've met on my travels. Not that I've met many people. It's much easier to get places when you move around where there are less people. Where am I from? I'm from somewhere far away. I doubt you would know where it is exactly. Even for someone of your status. How do I know you're a person of high status? Well, your clothing, of course. It isn't exactly subtle. If you didn't want to be noticed, I think you maybe should have worn something else. Your clothes are lovely, though. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to ask what exactly your status is. Royalty? You're the royal heir. Oh, no wonder you look so magnificent. If I'd known I was going to meet royalty today, I would have dressed in my finest garb. I doubt I'll be impressing anyone dressed like this. You think I look nice? Truly. You flatter me. I appreciate you saying such kind words to someone like myself. So, what's it like being the royal heir? Are your traditions similar to those of other kingdoms? Only to a few of them. Well, any amount of similarity between traditions is usually a good thing, isn't it? But you look a bit troubled about something. Care to tell me exactly what's weighing down on your mind? It's not one of those traditions, is it? Time to look for a suitor. Well, why exactly would that be causing you so much strife? I would think someone like you would be glad to be finding a suitor. I mean, who wouldn't want to court someone such as yourself? You don't want to do it the traditional way. Well, I suspect that very few would. It is an important decision, after all, deciding who it is you want to marry. You know, I've had difficulty with something similar recently myself. It's part of the reason I went traveling, actually. Just like you, I needed a break. But instead of running into the closest forest, I. Yes, I went on a journey, you could say. But I'll be home soon. Ready. If I'm being honest, no, I'm not ready. I've caused a lot of trouble lately, and I just know I'll get a lecture about how it was irresponsible of me to leave when there's just so much work to be done. It'll be fine. When I get back, I'll be returning with good news. I've had plenty of time to see the world and think about my decision, and I think I'll be able to discuss the idea of breaking tradition. My decision. Well, I've decided that I shouldn't be limited to only those who live in the same area that I do. I should be able to choose anyone from anywhere I wish. Well, yes, actually, I do have someone in mind. But I don't really know them very well at all. We met by chance during my travels. It was a brief encounter, but they left quite the impression on me. Why them? Well, when I first saw them, I could feel my heart flutter. I felt this strong urge to just hold them and never let go, and to protect them. Love at first sight. That's what you call that. I've never felt such a feeling before, especially not for a creature so similar to myself. It's nice. What do you think I should do when I feel like this? Tell them. But what if they don't feel the same way about me that I feel about them? No, I need them to like me. If they don't, then I'm uncertain I'll be able to even prove that I should be allowed to choose a mate for myself. Huh? Is there something wrong with the word mate? Oh, I see. So humans find the word offensive. So what word should I use instead? Spouse. All right, I'll have to remember that. So I do have another question for you about what you were saying earlier. Are you really not afraid of creatures that aren't human? Like werewolves and vampires? I see. What about elves, nymphs, and fairies? Is it really such a sudden question? I mean, you were saying that you were curious about the different worlds, and wouldn't it be a little difficult to explore them if you were afraid? Curious, but not afraid. It's all right to be a little afraid, you know. It's perfectly all right to admit it, too. You know, Royal, I like you. I think I'd like to get to know you a bit more. I think first, I'd like to know your name. I'm not from these parts, so I'm unfamiliar with the royal family of this kingdom. So, what's your name? You have a lovely name. Or rather, you had one. Unfortunately, this name is no longer your own. It belongs to me now. And because your name is now mine, you are mine as well. You see, I'm one of the fairies. No protesting. What's done is done. But you can't calm yourself down. I assure you I won't do anything to harm you. Well, now that I have your name, I suppose I have as much control over you as I wish. I could do anything I want with you, and there isn't anything you can do about it. I could lock you up in your own mind, leave you as a walking puppet with no other purpose than to serve me. Wouldn't that be nice? Or I could make you reject humanity altogether and take you away from here, never to return. But what I really want to do is to fill your mind up until all you can think about is me. Yes, that's right. I want to make you want to never be apart from me for as long as you live. Imagine the bliss you'll feel once I take you in my arms and whisper sweet nothings in your ear until you fall asleep. Why did I take your name if I didn't wish to harm you? Well, I didn't. It's in my nature to take any name that is given to me, whether I plan to use it or not. Think of it as assurance. Assurance that if you do anything to upset me, you will be punished accordingly. Why? I've already explained it to you. You want to explore other worlds, and your human courtship rituals are making you uneasy. I have also grown tired of the traditional courtship rituals of the fairies. Being royalty is difficult, isn't it? Did I forget to mention that? Yes, I too am royalty. Just like you, I am next in line to take the throne. So I've decided that I will take you as mine. Yes, I suppose you could say that I'm proposing to you to be my fiancé. Do you accept? No, I suppose you don't have much of a choice in the matter. But worry not, I will be good to you. So, my love, would you be a dear and escort me back to your home? I'd like to meet my future family. Thank you, dearest. I promise you won't regret this meeting. Doesn't it feel so good to be where you belong, my darling? Eyes closed, head pressed against my chest. It's relaxing, isn't it? Won't you tell me it's relaxing? I've just been so stressed and worried of late. I really needed this. I'm glad that I have you by my side. What have I been worried about? It's, nothing you need to concern yourself with, darling. All that concern is for little old me. Why, it warms my heart that you think of me so dearly that my worries would concern you so. But I'm fine. As long as we stay like this, I will be fine. Just let me look at that lovely face of yours for a moment. Lift your head up for me, dear. You're so much more cooperative now than you were when we first got engaged. I wonder why that is. Tell me, have I angered you in some way recently? No. Then is it something someone said? No. But your eyes, my darling. There's so much emotion reflected in these eyes. Fear, confusion, determination, pain. Yet nowadays you hardly seem to do much of anything without my say-so. I haven't seen you smile in days. Won't you smile for me? There's no reason to smile. What do you mean? And why do you seem different somehow? Just now you were doing everything I asked without question, and your eyes, they didn't seem full of life like they were when we met. But now, that light has returned to your eyes. Did you not notice? You seem to be going through your daily activities in a sort of daze, almost as if you were a puppet being strung along. But enough about that. Your light is back, and I must know. What did you mean when you said there was no reason for you to smile? Tell me then, what is it? You feel like you've been tricked by me. Is this about the whole name-stealing thing? I told you before, that's not really something I can control. It just sort of happens. My control over you. I told you I wouldn't use that. Not unless I absolutely needed to. And I haven't. Unless my possession of your name itself has been causing you to act so strangely. You really haven't seemed like yourself these past several days, after all. And everyone else, too. I don't remember the last time anyone besides me has spoken to you. No, it's not because I'm keeping you to hold myself. Even if we're together, it seems people only see me. It's almost like they don't even see you anymore, which would be my personal nightmare because I couldn't imagine you being right there and just seeing past you as if you were a ghost. Haven't you noticed it? Oh, I suppose it would have been difficult for you to notice if you also seemed to be in a daze. It hurts for me to see you like this, darling. Is there anything I can do that could cure you of this affliction? I don't know how to do that. I'm just so lost with how any of this works. If I could just give it back to you, No. I don't even know if I'd be able to part with something so precious. It is the only thing keeping you by my side, and I can't give that up. I can't give you up, my darling. If I knew how to fix this, I would. This isn't how I wanted this to be. What did I want? I imagined the same as you. To choose whoever I wish to marry without the courting traditions. Surely as the royal heir of this kingdom, you understand the sentiment. I love you so much, darling. I don't want to lose you. And I don't want you to lose yourself. Not because of me or anyone else. I'd much rather you remain the same as the day I first fell in love with you. So I'd better start making preparations to return home. Well, the way I see it, there's no other way for us to get the information we need on how to fix what I've done unless I take you to the realm in which I reside. In the company of the Fae, you'll be well looked after, even if some do not seem keen on your presence. Because you are the person I have chosen to marry, and they will respect that. Return home? What brought this on? So you've heard that after we get married, you might not be able to return to the human realm? Well, that is true, but we haven't married yet. For the most part, your ability to return home will depend on you. If you have any writings on my people at all, it's best to heed whatever warnings you find in there. I don't expect to stay for very long, but I refuse to let anyone else stake a claim to you. And since it seems I may have some influence over you unintentionally, I worry that you'll get yourself in a daze if I end up stuck in there. It's complicated. I do want you to be there so that we can live together, but I don't want any of that until we actually get married. Don't know if you can go through with it. But why? Is there something wrong with our relationship that you just aren't telling me about? Because I could fix any problem. Whatever doubts you're having about us, just tell me. I can make them all go away, my darling. I can make them go away. Start over. But why ever would we need to start over? Are things not perfect as they are? I have you and you have me. Do we really need anything else? Oh, you still want to stay with me? You just feel that our meeting wasn't to your taste. I suppose it wasn't the most interesting or heartfelt story in the world, was it? We can start over if you want, just as long as that means you're still mine. But I don't believe there's much I can do about the name thing. If I'm being honest, I've never taken a name before now, and from my understanding, all the factions handle these matters a little differently. Well, we've never had to give a name back before, to my knowledge. And even now, I don't want to give it back. It's such a lovely name, and it keeps you by my side. I just want you to be the person you were before, and I want people around here to be able to treat you with the respect you deserve. So I guess I have to get to the bottom of this. Yes, you really do have to come with me. You don't really think I'm going to leave you here where I can't see you, do you? I need to be able to see to it that you aren't getting into any trouble. Not without me, anyway. Now, how about we get back to what we were doing earlier, darling? I didn't think I'd be taking you to meet my family for some time. I know, my love. I'd have preferred introducing you under different circumstances as well, but I'd rather just get this entire mess sorted out before the world forgets you entirely. They've all begun acting as if I was simply a guest rather than that I'm your fiancé. Yes, it's been the same with everyone I've spoken to. That's why we have to do this. I could never forgive myself if every piece of you disappeared from this world because of what I've done. I know that we've come all this way to make things right, but it doesn't make me any less nervous. Because they could hurt you. If you do anything to upset my family or my people, they could hurt you. And I don't want to take that chance. Of course I'll protect you if anything happens. If it came down to it, I could kill to protect you. Yes, I really do love you that much. I've loved you since the moment I laid my eyes on you. Every part of your being is stunning and extraordinary, and as much as I would relish in keeping it all for myself, this world doesn't deserve to lose something as precious as you. Well, what we're waiting for is myself. To work up the nerve to go, I mean. Look, just up ahead, there's a fairy ring. We can use that to get to where we need to go. I'm just not entirely certain I've prepared enough for what's to come. You really trust me that much? I'm glad you do. I think that alone will help me get through this. But you have to promise me something before we go. I want you to promise me that you won't ever leave my side for any reason, all right? If you leave my sights, then I won't be able to protect you. And if I can't protect you, then I've failed as your fiancé. Thank you. I'm glad you understand my point of view. I kind of thought you would end up resenting me for what I've done. I know you still aren't the most fond of me after everything that's happened, but I think at the very least you've warmed up to me a little bit. Yes, different circumstances. If I could do everything over, I truly would. I love you, my darling, and that means I would never want any harm to come to you. But also, I don't want to lose you. You must understand, right? Haven't you ever had a person that you loved so much you would shatter if they left you? A friend, even. Then you do understand how I feel. But I won't force you to go with me if you don't want to. With all the risks. Yes? You'll still go with me. I know it's not particularly because you feel the same way I do about you, but thank you. Yes, I know. That's just the sort of person you are, isn't it? I sensed that trait in you when we first met. You are definitely not the type of person to leave someone to struggle. And I regret that nobody will be giving you that same courtesy now, all because of me. But I promise you, I'll fix this however I can. I know just standing here at the edge of the fairy ring isn't going to fix anything. I'm just thinking about what's going to happen when we actually step through. Well, I kind of left without telling anybody where I was going. I've caused a lot of problems for myself and for you. But you're right. I can't keep delaying it. You're going to have to stay with me when we go. Don't make that face. I know you don't want to be close to me after everything, but if we aren't close enough when we enter the ring, we'll be separated. And I can't let anything happen to you. Not in a place like that. Hold on. Well, here we are. What do you think? Yes, I know that it looks about the same as the mortal realm, but you'll see that we have returned to the realm of my home when we leave the forest. I should have known you'd ask something like that. It's simple. If you weren't holding my hand, you could have easily been transported to another forest in this realm. That's what happens when a human enters a fairy ring. It's meant to disorient your kind. But because you have me guiding you, you won't get lost. Of course I know where to go. That's the same ring I used to arrive in your kingdom, after all. Oh, yes, of course. We don't have to hold hands anymore. I trust that you will stay by my side during this time that we're here. It's where you'll be safest, after all. Oh, it's not terribly far. Well, it would seem a bit further to you than it would to me. After all, you don't have wings to fly with. Me? Well, I suppose I could fly you to our destination and carry you, but it's just that, do you really want to do something so intimate? Well, maybe something like that is not considered intimate to humans, but think about it this way. Asking for someone to carry you while they're flying demands a certain degree of trust. Trust that they won't drop you or toss you, or trust that they have the strength to keep you in their arms. And trust is a very intimate thing, you know. Besides, I would be holding you close to me the whole time. And I know we're engaged and all, but being close to someone like that, it's just quite intimate, wouldn't you say? Yes, you're right. I suppose I've held you in my arms plenty. And sometimes you seem to really enjoy it as well. But you also don't seem to enjoy my company much. Still, do you really trust me enough to carry you all the way there? Even if it isn't too far for me, it may seem quite far for you. Yes, of course I love you. Then, if that truly is enough reason for you to trust me, I will gladly carry you in my arms. Speaking of, look. See there, in the distance? That's the forest of my home. I can tell because of that huge tree at the front. There aren't any other forests around here that have trees that large, especially not towards the entrance. I know it seems really far away. That's what I've been trying to tell you. But you don't have to worry about that, because I can fly really fast. So, are you ready to go? All right, then I'll grab you like this. Well, I guess this is it then. We can still turn back if you want to. Then we best get going. Remember, when we get there, that you can't leave my sight for any reason, all right? I don't want anyone taking you away from me. Thank you. And if for any reason at all we become separated, I want you to call for me. Even if I can't hear you, I'll know to find you. Well, we mustn't delay the matter any longer. Hold on tight now. We'll be there before you know it, so just relax in my arms until then.